After speaking with the Stauntons at Rook's Rest, Finn and Lana returned to her farm. While there, she would gather her things to stay a while at the Apothecary so that she wouldn't have to fear being approached alone by the sellsword Cynic again. As fate would have it, their resolve would be tested sooner than they expected.
I'm trying to sort out my pockets, and I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be taking, what I'm not supposed to be taking. I definitely want to take my bathing suit.
It's so easy for me to sort out my pockets now. A completely effortless method that works every time.
Take everything.
Yes. Accumulate until you have trouble walking, and then ask your lover to audit them for you. Then complain about what they've taken out and start accumulating again. It's a vicious cycle. Oh, God. I wish you can taste how delicious this coffee is. Oh.
That's okay. I have coffee also.
The first sip in the morning, Lana, is something. It's a revelation. I can't explain it. It's like a spiritual thing.
He's here.
Come. Feel. Close the door.
Oh,
Shit.
I got it.
Okay. Look.
Hello.
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 Hi.
Hello. Cynic.
How are you?
Well. Hello, Lady Manic.
How are you?
I'm good. And
That's
you?
good to hear. I'm
How are you?
okay. I'm sleepy, but okay.
Yeah. A good night's sleep. Oh, perfect.
Hello.
Lord Carlisle.
It is. Good
It
morning.
is.
Good morrow.
Perfect.
Is good morrow or
Lord
good
Carlisle.
morning the thing to say? Good morrow, good morning. I never know.
We can turn morning for me.
Ah,
Lord
I see.
Carlisle, you're a healer, right?
I am.
Someone is about to come to Westeros, a friend of mine from a while ago,
Mhm.
and it's kind of perfect that you two are here because she is a cook and a healer, or aspiring to be.
Oh?
So I was hoping if one of you two might want to teach her the ways, if possible.
Yeah.
I can try to pay as much as I can.
I don't think that would be a problem. I don't particularly have any issues with showing new healers the way around the cauldrons.
The problem is she hasn't really played in this life at all before.
I see.
She knows nothing
I see.
when it comes to nothing.
So I think what he's saying, Lana, is that we need to initiate her. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we can handle that.
I hope so, because it was a struggle for me. Me and her argued for nearly 4 hours about it all.
Oh no.
Oh.
She's apprehensive then.
To me, I don't think she's that way to strangers.
I see.
She's
Was
from
it because
different
she didn't know anybody as to why she was apprehensive to come here?
It's because I was being a bit rude when teaching her.
Aw.
Oh.
What were you teaching her?
How to open the menu.
Oh, I see. All right. Now I really know what you mean about. Yeah, okay. I think, yeah. It's kind of like showing my mom how to do alchemy recipes. It's just slow. You have to be very patient with them.
She's very impatient with me, so I'm sure she'll be a lot less hard at learning with the two of you.
I see. And this is your
At least I hope.
this is your friend, you said?
It is, my friend.
Very good. How goes things with the sellsword business?
It's going well, I suppose, as well as it could. My friend was killed because.
Oh.
Oh no.
My friend I told you about, Lady Manic. So my plans are a bit interrupted right now.
Oh,
Oh.
I'm sorry to hear about
I am so sorry, Cynic.
Sorry, people die.
that. They do.
Unfortunately.
We lost one the other day at the little squabble at the mine. One of the Mayweather men.
In Balon's company.
I think it was Balon's, but I'm not really familiar with who he was bannered to, or I don't know a lot of the people that were there.
It couldn't have been Robert Merriweather, could it? It was him?
I don't remember. The Lord Commander came up and of the Mayweathers, or at least the eldest came and said that he thanked us for his service. Lana was with me; she was assisting me, and I mean they brought him in. He was pretty much gone already. He was pretty much expired already. So he came and thanked us for our service and trying, and then he just walked away. We disposed of the body, and that was it.
Sorry for the Mayweathers.
Yeah, myself.
It's never easy losing your relative, I imagine.
No, imagine not, especially over. It's just the mind issues and the things that happening with violence around the realm is always concerning for me, my friends both, and being able to make sure that we have the resources and the ability and just my availability to heal the injured when they are. And thankfully, Lady Strong was there as well, assisting, and they didn't have too many injuries, but that was a pretty small scale squabble from what I saw. All the dragons, thankfully, were not involved, but it is always scary when there are Targaryens involved.
Incredibly. If the dragons were involved, I would probably have died.
Yeah.
I was on the
Were
other
you
end of
there?
the Targaryen side. Yep, I took place in the battle.
Oh, I see.
I thought we nearly lost one.
Oh,
Yeah, the lords thought it would be a good idea to joke about a little meatball being killed, which was one of our men. He wasn't killed, of course, thankfully.
thankfully. I don't think anybody aside from the Mayweather fellow sustained any permanent injuries or any long-term permanent injuries from what I heard. Makor got a little wounded, but I think Lady Strong was able to patch him up pretty good. He was still in good spirits. At least he was still joking like he normally does, so I imagine that he did all right.
Oh, he's doing very well.
Good.
He was back to his normal self.
Yep, that's Makor.
Speaking of which, now I'm in his service.
Oh, yeah.
Oh?
Oh, so you work with Reginald.
Unfortunately.
Oh. Listen,
You're not.
he's a character, but I tell you what, he's noble when he needs to be. He helped Lana and I greatly when with the sewers. There was a huge gator that came, and if it wouldn't have been for Reginald, I probably would have died in the sewers that day. So,
He lost his brother in the sewers.
gosh,
A lot of stuff going down in the sewers, evidently.
yeah, it's a nasty place.
And I lost my friend in the sewers. Yeah, a lot of things going in the sewers.
Best to stay
You
clear of
lost your-
this, friend.
Same friend?
No. Well, yes.
Oh.
Same friend, but Reginald's brother Ronald was the one that was killed by my friend. And then Reginald killed my friend.
Oh,
I
Very
see.
complicated.
it sounds like it. Gosh. Oh. My brain never
I'm
goes.
sorry, Cynic.
My brain never goes to a place of violence. It's really hard for me to fathom how things like that work. But
Mm.
I could have prevented it possibly if I were there. Apparently, Reginald was looking for me while they went down there in the sewers, which I heard after when Reginald came back to the keep with his brother in his arms.
Wow,
Oh my
that's
goodness.
so tragic.
When was this?
Maybe a day or two ago, 3,
Hmm.
something about that.
Hmm.
Oh wow. I am so sorry, Cynic.
Yeah.
It's alright. Give your sympathies to Reginald next time you see him.
Will do. Will do, definitely.
He and his brother were close.
Oh yeah, they absolutely were. They every time I ever met the two of them, they seemed inseparable.
They were.
It must be very hard for him.
It was. I didn't know what to do. I'm not very comforting. I hardly experienced in any of that.
It's never easy, but I guess it's kind of like the sword. You just have to practice, you know.
Yeah, need to get my practice in with that too.
Best thing to do when you're just unsure is sometimes just do nothing and just be there for them.
This conversation had played out much differently than the couple expected. Was Cynic really a threat? This was a side that Lana hadn't seen from him before. Finn, sensing an opportunity to reshape this awkward relationship, decided to invite Cynic to the Apothecary to show off what he had to offer for Cynic's young friend. He would show the sellsword the paintings of Lana in hopes to display the depth of their bond and ward off any ill will toward our loving couple.
So yeah, this is the Apothecary, Tubs and Tonics. It's sort of doubles as a living space for me and the rest of my family. I get into my work quite a bit, so I don't do a whole lot of. Well, I go back and forth to the farm quite a bit, but this is just our area of worship. And with anybody that needs spiritual counseling, I find that the God's Wood is a good place to do it. Help them get their priorities straight, and if they don't have a calling for religion, nature's a pretty easy way to just find inner peace without any sort of hokey devotion. Nothing against the seven, but their ways are quite strict and complex at times, and it can be quite daunting for someone that's lost. So,
Then do you believe in the old gods,
yes, I do.
personally?
Yes, I do.
And the others of House Carlisle, is it the same or is it a bit mixed?
Most do believe in the old gods. Some have not really expressed preference or anything, but I believe everyone that practices religion here is fond of the old gods' ways.
I respect it. I don't personally believe in anything like that,
Mhm.
but if it's something you enjoy or have faith in, then I don't see any reason to doubt it.
Yeah. The old gods' teachings are more like just natural things, you know. Nothing strange or supernatural. I mean, every once in a while, I suppose there are some things that are documented that would lead that to believe people. But I was raised around nature, and life is beautiful. And one of the things that I focus on and help people to try to focus on is to think about how nature's provided life and all of the things that we enjoy within it. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be some supreme being that does these miracles, you know. Just knowing that the air that we breathe is a miracle in itself is enough for me.
I agree. Nature is beautiful, isn't it?
It is quite wonderful.
Fortunately, I was growing up around the godless parts of nature, human nature more like.
Yeah, that'll teach you some lessons, of course. So this is just my little office where I take the reception area and patient records, and you're happy to go into the infirmary as long as you don't touch anything without washing your hands. Try to keep this area very, very sanitary, and just a little place where I treat patients and store some of the stronger drugs. This is
Intimidating.
yeah, it is. You know, Lana and I had this discussion early on, and sometimes when I'm treating breaks and such in legs and arms, and I really need to refamiliarize myself with the placement of joints and things of that nature. So I got this little model of a skeleton. I sanitized the bones myself and kind of picked them from some of the old and abandoned places of burial that I've come across in my days. And this particular skeleton that I've reassembled taught me a lot about the human skeletal system. But mostly, what is most concerning is that the comment that you just made. When children come in here, they were always quite apprehensive about being treated with a skeleton in the corner of the room. But trying to make a little boy calm down that broke his leg climbing a tree just by chasing his little pet cat up there or something like that. It's very nerve-wracking because you want to keep them calm. So this little guy, I told Lana that I was really concerned about people being scared of him, and she said, "Why don't we give him a name?" And she named him Lord Benedict Bonewell. So
fitting. That's one way to see the children.
Yeah. It's well, the adults can enjoy it too. It's a little play on words, but I think it's quite fitting. And well, when I introduce him to children, they seem to lighten their mood a little bit, and actually sometimes they just ask him questions in the middle of a session, and I have to pretend like he's talking to them, and it's quite a silly game that we play, but it works out well for the children.
The innocence of children.
Oh no, it's fascinating, isn't it? And most of the rest of the apothecary is just the height was. We had a time we had a little bit of worry about whether or not we would have a separate place to call our home, or most people would be living here. So in the design, I actually just put together some personal quarters and things, and well, it ended up not being used. We actually put together a manor next to the apothecary, so that's where most of my family stays. I'm the only one that stays here, except for guests every once in a while. But this is my little laboratory. I've recently injured my leg, so I didn't keep a whole lot of the things that I use regularly up here. And as a matter of fact, I'm probably going to be moving the cauldrons to the farm in order to help Lana out a little bit more, as well as she can keep me company when I'm doing my farm chores, and I just bring my alchemical stuff there, and then I don't have to haul it back and forth by horses. The crops can get rather tedious at times to transport. And this is just my study.
Not the one farmer.
What's that?
I'm glad I'm not the one farmer.
Oh yeah, it's a
not
lot.
Gonna be my friend.
It's a lot. It's a lot. We'll show her the ropes though. A good horse and a little bit of patience is all you need. Once the crops start growing, there's not much to it except just the hard work is left, you know.
It's hard to tell if she's patient, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
I find it rather difficult to tell if women are patient or not.
It is,
especially when they're angry.
it's a mystery, my friend. Women are absolutely most complex creatures in the world.
I sure don't know anything about them.
This is a guest room that I put together, and Lana stays in it sometimes, so I made a little contribution for her. Kind of enjoy our time together.
Did you paint it yourself, or have someone to paint it?
I contracted to have it painted. I really wish I could paint that well, but I've been dabbling a little bit, but there's no possible way I could do it with my own hands. So I do practice though. Take the inspiration from others and use it as well as I can. But I'm big into memories, so I try to capture as many as I can.
I'm afraid if I try to practice, I would end up embarrassing myself, even in practice. My drawings come out as unrecognizable symbols that don't exist.
I see.
I can make my own language as I try to draw.
You might be onto something there. If you ever meet Celera Staunton, the lady that I told you about with the Weiling bird, or I forget the actual species name, but she can hand draw things that are extraordinary, Cynic. I witnessed her from the very start put together a painting by hand of the king fishing. It's over at the Serpent's Rest. the Sea Serpent's Rest Tavern in one of the outside pillars that she put a painting there, and it's remarkably impressive to watch her do it. It's so detailed and intricate, and you can tell it's not fabricated. It is. The brushstrokes are clean and calculated. It's amazing to see.
I'll visit the outside of the tavern when I leave here.
Yeah.
I got to go to the tavern at some point. I saw you and Lady Manning there.
Remember that the king was around and he was doing his boisterous activities.
Yep.
Yeah.
Seeing all the talented people.
Yeah, he put us on the spot that day and asked us about some sort of what was it? He asked us to say funny things that we can do with our bodies. That was quite embarrassing.
That was his intention. I remember hearing him say, "Bring Lady Lana and Carlisle down so I can embarrass them."
Gosh,
That is what he said.
I try to put him on the spot too, as much as I can, because he's a hard man to make uncomfortable. But when you get him to the point to where he's retreating, it's such a glorious feeling.
From what I hear, you might be able to do that in mentioning his love interest. He's a bit flustered, the flustered kind.
Oh, you know what? I didn't know if Bela and him were an item. But recently, some of the things that he's been hinting around to may have been quite telling. So I will have to tease him a bit with that.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, and all that's left is just a little restroom. Nothing much. Just a little changing area for people and a toilet, and just a little bath. This was actually a gift from the king last year. We had to have it imported here, but last year I made a relatively good impression on him, I think, and well, the aftermath was sort of I don't know. I still feel guilty about it, but my good friend Adric the Bastion ended up having to haul this bad boy by himself across the entire crown lands, all the way to my apothecary in the west, and install it into my bathroom. I felt horrible for him, but he was the largest man and the strongest that I've known, so there's no better person to help, I suppose, with that, but definitely a kingly gift.
It is very luxurious.
It is.
One of the more luxurious things I've seen in my life, to be honest.
Yeah, it's we try to live modest lives, but anytime you do stuff for the royal family, they tend to reward quite well. They the other day, Lana was with me when we went to the little skirmish that they had outside, and well, she, in her words, I didn't do anything, but they rewarded her very, very handsomely with a gold payment for showing up and assisting me, and she felt pretty modest about it, but honestly, the crown, I told her that she just needs to accept it, because the crown usually pays well, and refusing their payments will be an insult to them. So, yeah. So I've learned to accept their gifts graciously and just appreciate them and share them when I can with others.
I'll keep that in mind if they ever try to gift me something.
Yeah, just accept it graciously. Sometimes the best response is just thank you.
I could try to bow down and do a dramatic thank you.
Yeah, you
That might work.
You could. A little bit of polished flattery. I get you somewhere. It gets me. It works on me. People stroke my ego a little bit, and I'm your best friend for life.
I keep that in mind, Lord Carlisle.
Good. I don't know if Lady Manning is going to be available soon. If you'd like, I can deliver the pearls to her for you, or we can just get together another time.
There you go. I don't think it's a lot, but I'll be collecting them passively.
That's impressive. Thank you very much for that. I'm sure she'll be able to appreciate that. You know, the finest cuisine in the world is only as good as how salty it is. If it's a savory dish and it doesn't have enough salt, it's such a disappointment.
I've been tried many of her salty things, Lady Manning. I prefer her believe they were called donuts.
Yeah.
Donuts and mochi cake or mochi
Oh,
something.
mochi, her mom's favorite recipe. It is a delight. She does love her sweets. She recently at the sea. If you go to the Sea Serpent's Rest, most of their food supply that they have on hand is actually crafted by her own hands. So I would order the chicken fried steak personally, but she does have a couple of other savory dishes there that are absolutely divine and to die for. I think you'd enjoy them.
Next time I go, I'll ask for that.
Wonderful,
Try something salty.
wonderful.
Want an estate like this?
Yeah.
Not quite as big. If I'm going to be honest with you, Lord Carlisle, my heritage is beginning to look like either, from what Makar has said, Tarth or Dane. Possibly.
Tarth or Dane. I am not familiar with any Danes, but I have heard the name Tarth. Quite a reputable house, from what I understand.
Me as well. Then he says if I were to be them, I would be quite wealthy if I claim inheritance.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I wish you the best of luck with that endeavor. Finding about family history is a value in itself, much less the actual physical monetary gain that could be acquired from some sort of inheritance like that.
Hopefully, if that does happen, I would like an estate. Not as big as this one, but enough to suit me.
No, this is, and then the other day, my brother here in Carlisle, he teased me quite a bit about how grandiose this seemed. Being that it was catering to the royal family and it would be right in the streets next to the market sector, I wanted to make sure that it was impressive and showed that it was a reputable establishment that people could trust with their healthcare. But honestly, after seeing Lord Rosby and Princess's greenhouse, I don't even have words to express. Their keep is something that defies my imaginary limits. I couldn't fathom putting together something absolutely breathtaking like they've done with the keep, and even something like their greenhouse is so impressive that it's made me question every brick that I've ever put into this place. It's amazing, Cynic. If you ever have the chance to see it, if you and Lord Rosby are ever on good terms, he would. I'm sure he's very proud of it, and for good reason. He's done an incredible job.
This is the keep by the farmlands?
Yes.
I've been inside.
Oh, it's amazing.
It is. I only saw a bit of it, the dining hall and the entrance. I was guarding Prince Makar
See,
during it.
but
it was, from the short visit, it was a very beautiful keep.
it is. The height is so impressive. Like just in general, like the feeling of how grandiose it is because of the ceiling height by itself is just, it's wondrous. I would have never thought to build something that tall, that open.
Like you said, if we're ever on good terms again, I hope I can visit his keep and get a better look.
Yeah.
If I ever get my estate running, here's my plan. You can tell me how you think of it when it comes to if I get an estate.
Well, I would be glad to give you my eye for it. I have no idea how to build myself. This was purely by luck and inspiration and a little bit of help from some good people in my family that it came together and looks manageable. I was fairly impressed with it, but no architect myself.
I'm not asking for your skill in architecture, just what you think of it.
Oh, of course, of course.
So my plan for the house is, of course, the main estate, which is just going to be rooms, and whoever is going to be there, what their skills might need. Like, for example, your alchemist stuff. I might have rooms for that, and rooms for myself when it comes to smelting and leatherworking. That's just the estate. And then the front, thinking about it, maybe, I think gardening should go back. Gardening, what would be good in the front?
There are a number of interesting things that you can do with gardening and decor. Let me close this door and I'll show you something, Cynic. I also have a gift for you. Consider this something to inspire you to put together that area of your keep and call it your own. These are, I have a bit of an unhealthy obsession with botany, and these specific plants or native to the lands around here that you can find. These particular varieties are relatively hard to find. They grow in caves that are, some of them, one of them has restricted access, but my family's cave does have quite a bit of these. And when you get them, the way that you do it is you make or get someone to make for you empty pots. You can craft them with cementing paste and some other basic materials, and when you make a pot, if it's in your backpack and you use a shovel on any of the wild plants, none of the man-made fabricated plants that you'll see people using in gardening, but most of the wild plants that you see all around Westeros, the ones that you can harvest for berries or fibers or just about anything, even trees, you can use the shovel on them and it will implant the seed from it directly in the pot. Then once you go to place the pot, you'll have the option to see exactly the type of plant that you put, and you can shrink or increase the size of the foliage to your liking. But every time I go out, I always look for interesting plants that I can use for decor, or trees even the beautiful sylvan trees. I have them back here to the point to where you can pretty much landscape anything you want. They do have the small caveat of having the pot underneath, but you can shift it to this here as well. See, this is actually a pot, but you can just change it to that. So it is wonderful. I think it's such a fun little mini game, if you will, to find interesting plants that you can use. And this is a cypress that I recently tried. I thought about maybe trying to actually build a treehouse with one of these for the kids to enjoy and stuff.
You gave me an idea, Lord Carlisle.
Yeah?
When it comes to the structure of the estate I have in mind, which I hope I will get to use.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought the front would be, what was it? Okay, I would start with the back because I forgot what the hell I was going to do with the front. The back would be the farming and a greenhouse for stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully a beautiful greenhouse, otherwise it'll look out of place. In the front, I still don't know what the hell I'd put in the front. Now I know what to do with the back.
Yeah, there you go. Just do it feels right. You can try to plan all you want to, Cynic, but at some point, you're gonna get to the point to where you're gonna see that all of your plans, they'll change due to just practical use. Like once you get it involved, I had this great idea to have a lab upstairs next to my study, and when I had a load of crops trying to bring them into the cauldron area, especially with a broken leg from the sewer incident, I started questioning my methods in planning. So things change, you have to be flexible, but I'm sure you'll put something wonderful together.
I'll do my best to be flexible. That's what I try to do mostly, to adapt.
That's right. Adapt.
That's my personal best skill, I believe. Adaptation.
Either adapt or break the mold.
Do my best to do both. I believe everyone does, or has to.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If I ever do get that estate, you will be the first to tour it. You and whoever you wish to bring along.
Well, thank you very much for that. If I'm honest and everything goes well, I hope Lana to be my betrothed, and it would be a great honor to tour your new keep, Cynic.
I hope it goes well for you as well.
Thank you very much for that.
I hope it goes well with my friend under your guidance and Lady Lana's guidance.
We'll break her in. We'll show her the ropes, and we'll try to make sure that she has a good foundation for being successful and making a name for herself here in the Crown Lands.
I hope so. I've got plans.
Good. Yeah, send her our way when you when she has time, and could introduce ourselves and get her started.
I would do just that whenever she's around, which I don't know when.
Wonderful.
It's been a pleasure, Carlisle.
You as well, Cynic. It was
Lord
nice
Carlisle.
talking with you. You can just call me Finn, Cynic. I'm a simple man.
All right then, Finn. Works for me. Sounds like your love is here.
Oh yeah?
I heard someone might not be.
Maybe so. Did you finally get your head out the books?
Somebody has changed the locks.
Oh no, all of them?
I mean, the same ones over on the farm.
Oh, weird. Huh. I'll have to fix them.
Maybe we can come up with a new key.
Maybe so, yeah. Yeah, I'll have to ask about that. But, just finished giving Cynic the grand tour. He has
A wonderful tour.
He has a lot of plans for his own estate and getting things set up, and I even gave him one of the plants that we so love to collect as a token of good luck in the time that we spent together today.
Oh, which one?
One of the red ones from the cave, one of the hard to get ones.
Oh,
Yeah.
they are good.
He's gonna set up a nice little garden area, and I think that'll make a nice addition, nice rare plant. I told him that I have quite the addiction for botany, and showed him a little bit of what he can do and how to do it. So he said that he's going to offer me and you the first spots to be able to tour it when he puts it together. So.
If
Oh,
I put it
wonderful,
together,
thank
don't
you.
suck your hopes up too much.
Oh no,
I'm sure it'll happen.
we're optimistic.
I don't lie too much into pessimism or optimism. I try to keep an open mind to what everything that can happen.
A realist like my brother.
I try to be.
believe I'm a little bit too optimistic for some's taste, but life's just,
Nothing wrong in it.
no. Life
Surely nothing wrong.
life has its ups and downs. It's just best to embrace them both.
I agree to some. Agree. Or agree. But like I told Lord Carlisle or Finn, my heritage may come out as House Dane or Tarth.
Oh,
It all depends. How much would an estate cost, Finn?
I am afraid that I could not give you an accurate summary of costs. My connections and my past services and deeds have granted me quite a bit of leniency with people that I call friends, and Lord Byron Blackhall refused to take any payment for all of the stonemasonry work that he did for me. In addition to that, in the later parts of the construction, in order to facilitate its hasty completion, the Crown was insistent upon me taking resources from them, and the king came over, and he's a bit of a stonemason himself. He put together absolute plethora of pieces for me to use, in excess even, and we had more than enough to complete the estate, and as well as the manor that's next to it. So we're fortunate in that endeavor, but actual completion of it at a project this scale, I have no idea, Cynic.
That's all right. And you, Lady Minnie?
I mean, the Darklands were the ones that helped me with mine to upgrade the walls and so on. And as you know, they didn't take, well, at the time they weren't taking large payments.
No, the house head is killed. Dead. The others, I don't know.
Yeah, last I heard they had moved out of the city.
Oh, to Duskendale.
Unfortunately, I was one of the judges for the Lady Darkland's trial, and it was quite a dark time. But hopefully she finds peace.
I hope she does as well. She was good to me.
She was to me as well. I considered her a friend.
As did I. All right. I'll get out of your two hair. Oh, I just worded that really badly. Sorry, I'm tired.
No, it's fine. It's fine. My hair's
You're
a mess
okay.
anyway, Cynic.
Well, mine is more of a mess at this point. It's getting too long.
Uh-huh. Should let that
Speaking of which,
otter comb it out for you a little bit.
good idea. Find someone to braid it for me or cut out.
Yeah, get you a little cut. I bet you clean up nicely.
Maybe get a Targaryen to do it. I like
Uh-huh.
their braids. Their braids are quite nice looking.
They are, definitely. So, thanks for stopping by, Cynic, and thank you very much for helping Lana out with the pearls. We appreciate it.
It's not a problem. He has the pearls, by the way.
Yes, I have
Thank
all
you.
of the salt.
All right.
Thank you, Cynic.
It's not a problem. I'll still be collecting them passively. And rare flowers.
Too kind.
whatever
Thank
that
you.
is. All right. It's nice meeting you two again.
Nice for us as well, Cynic. Safe travels, and may nature guide your steps, brother.
Thank you, Fun. Goodbye,
Take
you
care.
two.
Bye.
You as well.
I need the bathroom so bad right now, Lana.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
Go, go, go.
Okay, I will. Digging in the jars.
Mm.
I love that little giggle of yours. It's wholesome yet mischievous. Lends itself to a little bit of mystery and delight. It's wonderful. Oh, I don't know if you heard any of the conversations that we had. You seem to be quite preoccupied, but I have you know that you would have been proud of me.
Oh?
Oh yeah, I was such a lord.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about it.
Well, he and I began by just he wanted to while you were in your thoughts, we decided that he asked me if I would mind giving him a little tour of the apothecary. And I said, no, not quite, not at all, you know. So I gave him a little bit of a tour, and it gave me some time to really just express outwardly how myself, as well as House Carlisle and what we represent, as well as in general, just build a little bond of camaraderie. I think I tried to focus in on points that he seemed to respond well to: common respect, gratitude, service to the realm, and I think his sense of duty is appealing, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
When you mentioned that you thought that, or that the people that spoke to him about his potential felt like he was quite easily influenced or persuaded to certain things, I think Cynic's sense of self and the future is starting to become very clear to him, and he's willing to do what he can to achieve those goals, but he has to feel like it's important that the things that he's doing to get to those, I don't think he has selfish motives. He just wants to make a name for himself and a place in society, I believe, and his heritage is starting to weigh heavily on his conscience, and both his optimism for the financial gain of it, as well as just the reputational standards, I believe, are quite interesting to him. And I think what he's going to do is I'm hoping, at least from what I can tell from him, I think he's just going to do the proper things to get himself to a place that he can be comfortable with his heritage and things. It would seem that something like that, if he got his hopes up and were derailed, could possibly send him over the edge, because he seems quite occupied, but I don't think that's beyond any man or woman, truthfully. But I did my best to kind of appeal to those senses with him and talk about some of the values that our family had with the old God's teachings, and how it wasn't as supreme being and hokey as some of the other so-called religions were, and he had some nice things to say about nature and its beauty. Talked a little bit about architecture and the generosity of the crown and how our family got our start, and based on where we're at now. Talked a lot about you and I, and he offered to show me his estate once, if he gets it, like he put it together. And I told him that he said, and you can bring anybody you want to tour it as well, but you could be the first one there. And I said that honestly, I could think of no better person to bring than hopefully by then my betrothed Lana. And I gave him a tour of okay, now here comes the part that's not so Carlisle and more Finn.
Oh?
I'm so proud of you, Lana, and I'm so proud to be with you, and I wanted to make sure that he knew that how much I cared for you and what a disastrous thing it would be if he were to do anything that would interrupt that. So I wanted to make him like me, just like I do everybody else, but I also wanted him to make him like us. I brought him upstairs and I showed him the guest room, the one that you stay at sometimes. And I showed him my bedroom as well. I wanted him to feel like I wasn't scared. He didn't make me feel uncomfortable at all. And I wanted him to show the painting. I didn't mention the painting specifically as a point of reference. I just brought him into the room and I told him that I wanted you to be comfortable in that place when you chose to stay, and that's why I had the painting commissioned. He seemed to admire it. He said that, not in a jealous way or anything like that. He complimented me on its beauty, and he said it was a great picture. And it was nice. It was soft. It was warm. You can tell that there wasn't any hint of jealousy or anger or animosity. It seemed pure, unless he was really good at disguising it, which I don't think he's real good at that. He kind of shares some of that with me. He seems pretty much like an open book, and when he does make gestures, they seem genuine. So anyway, we had a nice little walk around after that, and talked a little bit about his future as well. And I told him that we'd do everything in our power to make sure that his friend felt welcome and that we would help her to assist him and build their legacy together. And make sure she had a good circle of friends and a good foundation to improve her skills and make a name for herself here. He seemed to take quite kindly to that. And if I made friends with someone that you are generally worried about, I apologize if this brings any more attention to you from him. But
No, I just
why do you have that guilty look on your face?
because I feel like I have misjudged. I feel like I have gone and spread nasty words about somebody that was just confused and didn't know what they were. That could have gone so. it still has the chance to go really, really badly, and I worry that
Hmm.
it'll make things worse for him.
Hmm.
Because he seemed very different
Mm-hmm.
compared to that conversation that we previously had, and I feel guilty that I didn't see that before. I was thinking more terrible lines than trying to help somebody.
Shouldn't feel like that. If you recall our conversation with the Stauntons, we brought attention to some details that we were concerned about. Safety of the king and the realm. And those things are paramount, they're important. His suspicions weren't warranted, and actions speak louder than words, Lana. He didn't commit any crimes that the crown knows about, nor that we know about. And his future is in his own hands. Being able to facilitate some camaraderie and warmth in his life through his friends or our encounters together may just alter that. So if you're feeling guilty at all and you're not scared, we share time together. Just try to be a friend. And if that makes you uncomfortable, then we can continue to avoid him forever.
I don't like to avoid people.
Neither do I.
It's not a nice feeling.
Neither do I. And I think with his persistence, he never got that impression that if he did, then it didn't it didn't discourage him.
Okay.
Besides, Martin and Celera are some of the nicest people I know, some of the fairest people I know. Celera knows that she's a badass, and Martin has a blade, that looks like it can kill a dragon. I don't think that they take those things for granted. I don't think that they would have the reputation and the titles that they do if people thought that as well. And if there's anybody that handled the situation carefully, it's them. So I consider them friends. You consider them friends. Let's trust our friends,
okay,
that they do the right thing with the information that we've given them. We didn't do anything wrong by sharing information. And honestly, I shared the same apprehensive and scary feelings as you when it comes to divulging things about other people that could end up bad for them. But you have to remember that we didn't do any of those things that generated that suspicion. That's on them. If you had someone under your employ that was constantly not doing what they were supposed to do, that they were not performing up to the standards that you set, an exchange for currency for their services would have to be altered if they didn't fulfill their end of the deal. If you had to fire them, that's not on you, Lana. They made their bed. It's kind of the same thing with that. We can only be responsible for the actions that we put forth. And Cynic is a grown man. Even though he's young, he makes decisions for himself. So we have a responsibility and a duty to protect the crown, and we take that very seriously. So when I hear things that are a potential concern for the crown lands, or special people in my life like you, I don't take those lightly, and I make sure that within reason we act upon them. I think telling the proper trusted people in our circles are a good way to protect ourselves and them. So, don't feel guilty about that. Feel guilty about caring enough to say something. I'm kind of wordy this morning. I apologize. The coffee is working wonders.
No, you're okay. It's good. We'll never complain against it.
Good. Because sometimes I'm like, man, talk a lot. I really wish I would have our early conversation with him at the farm. I really wish I had a more documented memory of it. Oh well. No one's perfect except you.
Far from it.
You,
Far from it.
you could tell that to me, but my heart won't believe it.
Oh.
I only have eyes for you. Well, what an eventful morning this has been, huh?
It sure has.
That was actually quite pleasant after the initial heebie-jeebies went away. It was quite pleasant. He's an interesting man. Lives a life much different than I. It's always fascinating to meet other people that have such different perspectives. But
I agree. I am.
Did you get everything that you needed to get sorted while you had your time at the desk?
I have.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful. All right then. We have a big order to make. And we have life blossoms dying in the icebox.
Oh no.